Hello and welcome to the 2.03 video on how to do this assignment. Your objectives for this lesson are to differentiate between gross and net income, to distinguish between direct and indirect taxes, to evaluate the progressivity of taxes, and to create a tax return. You will be able to do all of these things at the end of this lesson. So everybody pays taxes. Benjamin Franklin once said, in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. And it's very true. We all have to pay taxes, and sadly, eventually we almost die too. But hopefully that's a long time from now. But we all do have to pay taxes. There's a couple of different kinds of taxes. There's sales taxes, income taxes, property taxes, excise taxes, capital gains taxes, gas taxes, tobacco taxes, taxes on everything, water taxes, you name it, there's a tax on it. Today's citizens actually pay more in taxes than the colonists paid. And the colonists sparked a revolution because of the taxes that they paid. So that says a lot about what we do now is different than what we did a couple hundred years ago. So there's two different basic types of taxes. There's a direct tax and an indirect tax. So a direct tax is when it's a tax that's paid directly to the government. Your income tax is an example of a direct tax. You pay it directly to the IRS. Even so, sometimes your boss may withhold your taxes. In the end, you're actually, even though they may send it off for you, you're actually paying that tax directly to the IRS. Property taxes are also a direct tax that you have to pay to the county or state. Sometimes your mortgage company will pay it for you if you still have a mortgage because they want to make sure those taxes get paid. But once your mortgage is paid off, if it's free and clear, you have to write a check or pay cash or whatever directly to the county or the state every year for your property taxes. Corporate income taxes are also a direct tax. They pay them directly to the IRS. Indirect taxes are paid through an intermediary. Example of that would be like a gas tax. You pay the gas station, and then the gas station pays the tax to the state. Sales taxes, you pay the store, and then the tax that you pay is paid by the store to the state. So those are indirect taxes are paid through an intermediary. So there's also different progressivities of taxes. And what this means is there's different levels that you pay of taxes based on your income. There are 3 of those, and it's all based on the proportion of taxes paid changes on how much you earn. So there's 3 different types of taxes. There's the flat tax, the regressive tax, and the progressive tax. So the flat tax means that everybody pays the same percentage. The regressive tax means that the proportion of tax paid goes down as you start making more money. This could be a sales tax, as an example of that. And then the progressive tax is the proportion of tax paid goes up as you make more money. And this is how our income tax system works in the United States. Please make sure that you check out page 3 and 4 of the lesson to learn more about how to file your taxes, how to fill out a tax return, and how much people pay in taxes in our country. So the assignment for this lesson is you're going to figure out your taxes. So you're going to be figuring out the taxes based on the different types of taxes, on the different progressivities of taxes. You're going to start by spinning the wheel to find your career and your income. So in the lesson, there's a little wheel to spin. You click on Select Me, and it'll give you one of these 8 careers. You can also click on the text only. It'll show you all 8 careers, and you can pick one from there as well. So let's practice here. So you're going to want to get the worksheet. You can download the worksheet from step 1 of the lesson, or I recommend that you download it from the help site because that's going to be a document file that you can save to your computer and then go ahead and type right on. So just click on the easy button on the announcements page and get that worksheet. You're going to start with the flat tax. So you're going to figure out your flat tax by multiplying your income by 15%. So for example, if you're going to be in the NBA, the league minimum is about $500,000 per year. So the least experienced player in the whole NBA that sits on the bench is making $500,000 a year, which is pretty awesome. You're not allowed to use this example for your assignment. So you're going to multiply $500,000 by 0.15, which will give you 15% of $500,000, which would be $75,000 paid in taxes. Wow, that's a lot of money paid in taxes, but he makes a lot of money a year, so it's all right. The next you're going to do is the regressive tax. So the regressive taxes are a little different. Remember, those are the sales taxes. As your income gets higher, the proportion you pay to taxes gets lower. So you're going to put an X on the worksheet next to your income level. So whatever your income level was from spinning the wheel, you put on an X on the worksheet next to that. Next, you're going to multiply your income by your tax bracket. So for that NBA player, he's going to pay 10%. So $500,000 times 0.10 is $50,000 paid in taxes. And that's what we would put for the regressive tax. The next is the progressive tax. So remember, progressive taxes, the more you make, the more you pay. So again, put an X on the worksheet next to your income level. Multiply your income by your tax bracket. So that NBA player is now going to pay 40% under a progressive tax plan. So $500,000 times 0.40 equals $200,000 paid in taxes. So now you've figured out, you've analyzed your taxes based on your salary and the different progressivities of. So now that you know the different types of taxes and the different progressivities, it is important to understand gross versus net income. So gross income is all the money you make before taxes are taken out. I like to think of it as fish. All the fish in the sea are gross. So the NBA player gets $500,000 in gross income because that's all the money he makes. The net income is the amount you make after you pay taxes. So that's the amount of fish that you catch in your net and get to bring home. It is your take-home pay. So he's got a few different levels. So the NBA player gets $425,000 under a flat tax because under the flat tax he paid $75,000. So $500,000 minus $75,000 means he gets to take home $425,000. Not bad. Under the regressive tax, he gets to bring home $450,000. $500,000 minus $50,000 in the regressive tax system means he gets $450,000 to take home. And finally, under the progressive tax system, he only gets to keep $300,000 in taxes because $500,000 minus $200,000 equals $300,000. So now that you've answered all the questions and figured out your taxes, it is time to answer the questions. There are 5 questions that you have to answer. I'm sorry, 6 questions that you have to answer for the lesson. You have to tell me, is this income tax a direct or indirect tax? Make sure you explain that. You can't just put direct or indirect. You have to explain it. You have to tell me what's the difference between the flat, the regressive, and the progressive tax plans. I recommend you include a definition of each one. Under which plan do you think you would pay the most in taxes? Under which plan would you pay the least in taxes? It's going to be different depending on what your income is. Which tax system would you benefit you the most? Again, that's going to go right back to the third question. And then explain your response and refer to your specific career. Next question is, do you think the plan that benefits you most is the most fair for everyone? So that's going to be an opinion question. Just make sure that you explain your response based on not only on your taxes, but on your personal feelings and what do you think is going to be the most fair. And then the last one, imagine you marry and your spouse earns $50,000 per year. So you're adding $50,000 in income. You will be filing your taxes together. Does this change your opinion of the proposed tax plans? Explain your response. And is that going to change your taxes? Please make sure that you are explaining where it asks you to explain. This is not just for this assignment, but for all of your assignments. And lastly, you're going to turn it in. You'll turn in your completed tax debate worksheet to 2.03. Your next assignment is going to be on investing. Please come back to the announcements page. Click on that help button for more videos and worksheets to help you make that assignment easy as well. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this.